You're okay, right?
Honestly, I'm not really sure where Stella's head's at right now. She's spending a lot of time with this guy she works for, Gordon. Why are you laughing?
You're worried about a guy named Gordon play? Why not? Stella adores you.
Yeah, I mean.
I am so sorry. I apologize for Detective Rollins' attitude. Yes, we'll get you the capital States. I'm Olivia Benson, and I am the lieutenant here. You're the boss. Yeah, go figure, right? It's all that stupid sauce!
Of Jewish politics.
6 Jewish newspapers, museums, the largest Jewish library in the world. Essia Friedman was born in Vilna before the war.
For me, Vilna was the most beautiful place in the world. Everything was gorgeous. Any little synagogue that you went in was beautiful.
There was all this learning, and there was a very specific cultural character of the Jews of Vilna that was the result of the studies and the attitudes of a very famous rabbi who is called the Gaon of Vilna.
The Gaon's legacy of scholarship, both religious and secular, came to permeate all of Vilna. But today, Vilna's most sacred places have vanished. This patch of soil was once the most important Jewish landmark in the entire city. For centuries, this was the site of the Great Synagogue of Vilna. Destroyed by the Nazis, the ruins were leveled by the Soviets, who sealed them away by building a school on top. Only fragments survive in museums today. Some of those fragments were recovered in 2011 when Lithuanian archaeologists dug 3 excavation pits next to the modern school.
The goal was to pinpoint more precisely the location of the Great Synagogue itself and the main architectural features of the synagogue.
The excavations uncovered pieces of the main worship area.
What's amazing is it was right here where the ark sat. They found the column base and the steps leading up to the main bema where the Torah was read.
Today, much of the worship area lies buried under the school, but the complex was far larger.
We've got to look at this whole complex as a sort of community center. You would have been coming in from the Jewish street over there. You would have been walking down Jewish Street, coming in through the main courtyard.
Dating back to the 16th century, the Great Synagogue was not the only synagogue in the city. In fact, there were more than 100. Then, as now, Judaism was diverse, ranging from ultra-Orthodox to secular. But the Great Synagogue, more than any other, was integral to the identity of Vilna.
It was unmatched. It was nothing like it.
The complex housed the world-famous library, kosher meat butchers, and a communal well. It also held another critical structure, the mikveh, the ritual bath required for observant Jews.
It potentially could be one of the oldest parts of the structure, so that's a really important aspect of the whole complex.
Based on historical diagrams, John Seligman suspects the mikveh is under the playground. For the archaeological team, it is an appealing target.
Mikvahs are great places to excavate because people lose all the personal items when they're going into the bath.
Recovering this lost world is a personal mission for many on the team. Lithuanian archaeologists, Israeli volunteers, American students.
For me personally, my goal is to be able to contribute to mankind and be able to say that I did something.
For lead archaeologist John Seligman, the investigation is even more significant. His family once lived here.
So this, for them, would have been the place they would have looked up to as the most important place within their own community.
Most of them were murdered in the killing pits of Lennar.
And looking over my shoulder, there's my grandfather, maybe thinking, good on you. So, that's something great.
With no clues visible from the surface, the search for the mikveh begins with a technology known as ground-penetrating radar. Harry Joel is the team's GPR expert.
So ground-penetrating radar, or known as GPR, uses FM radio waves, just like we're listening to in the car here. We're actually putting those waves into the ground. They're reflecting off the surface.